Be appreciated.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll start with some housekeeping items. The Planning Board voluntarily continues to offer remote participation. If any member of the Planning Board participates remotely, votes shall be by roll call. Any member of the public may attend this meeting remotely by using a computer or smart device by visiting www.zoom.us and entering the meeting ID 754-663-912, or by phone for audio only by calling area code 646-558-8656, same meeting ID 754-663-912. If you have technical difficulties getting in, please call 603-845-5585. If you're on the phone and you want to be recognized, hit star 9 to raise your hand, and once recognized, hit star 6 to unmute yourself. If there's an emergency and the alarm activates, please use the exit at the rear of the hall where you came in. Alternately, you may use an exit to my right and to your left. Elevators are not active during alarm activation, so if you need assistance, please wait for first responders. At this point, I'll introduce all the staff and members who are present tonight. To my far right is Mr. Appleton, one of our alternates. Good to see you again.
Of course, it's been a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. Mr. Mousy.
Good evening.
And our newest alternate, Mr. Young.
Good evening.
Welcome, guys. Our planning director, Ms. Robidoux.
Good evening.
Our planning intern, Ms. Burrell.
Good evening.
Our planning clerk, Ms. Wilson.
Good evening.
We are missing Mr. Chase, but we don't have his alternate, so we can't seat someone for him. Regular member, Mr. Wood.
Evening.
Mr. Minervini.
Good evening.
Vice Chair, Mr. O'Connor.
Good evening.
My far left is Mr. Venture, who makes all the remote video and teleconferencing and magic stuff happen. Thank you for that.
Good evening.
Member, Mr. Fishman.
Hello.
Town Administrator's Representative, Mr. Churchill.
Good evening.
We are missing Mr. Pelletier this evening, so I would ask Mr. Appleton to sit in his absence, please. And our secretary, Mr. Malaby.
Hello.
I'm Dave Nelson. I'm the chair. Up first on the agenda is matters of escrow. We have a number of items tonight. The first is item 26-24, 18 Cemetery Road Strategic Contracting.
Okay. So this is a cash escrow. The parcel ID and location is map 5, lot 69, 18 Cemetery Road. The request is to establish cash escrow in the amount of $3,535 for the above noted project. This escrow will be non-interest bearing.
What's the board's pleasure?
Mr. Chair, I so move.
Second. Moved by O'Connor, seconded by Malaby to accept the escrow represented. Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Minervini?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Fishman?
Yes.
Mr. Churchill?
Yes.
Mr. Appleton?
Yes.
Mr. Malaby?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Next item is 26-25, 80.5 English Range Road, TJB Homes.
Okay, the project name is Ball Farm Heights. This is also cash escrow. Map 11, lot 87-1, with the address of 80.5 English Range Road. The request is to approve release number 1 in the amount of $12,247.50 for the above noted project. The amount to be retained is $5,750. This account is also non-interest bearing.
And Mr. Chair, I so move on this action.
Second. Moved by O'Connor, seconded by Malaby to accept the escrow as presented. Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Minervini?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Fishman?
Yes.
Mr. Churchill?
Yes.
Mr. Appleton?
Yes.
Mr. Malaby?
Abi. Yes, please.
And the chair votes yes.
How many hands?
Yeah, I'm trying to set a speed record tonight. Maybe this is not the good way to do it. Next item, 26-26, 43.5 Crystal Avenue Grindhouse Meat Company.
Okay, so this is a letter of credit, map 32, lot 25-3 at 43.5 Crystal Avenue. The request is to establish letter of credit 10094, drawn on Kennebunk Bank in the amount of $488,589 for the above noted project. The expiration date will be July 27th of 28.
I so move, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Moved by O'Connor, seconded by Malamy to approve the escrow as presented. Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Minervini?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Fishman?
Yes.
Mr. Churchill?
Yes.
Mr. Appleton?
Yes.
Mr. Malaby?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Next item is, oddly enough, 26-27, 12 A Street, EPSI.
Okay, this is for Engineered Pressure Systems Incorporated, located on map 8, lot 1, sublots 2-3 on 12 A Street. The request is to establish cash escrow in the amount of $365,525.20 for the above noted project. This escrow will be non-interest bearing.
Mr. Chair, I so move.
Second.
Moved by O'Connor, seconded by Malamy to approve the escrow as presented. Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Minervini?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Fishman?
Yes.
Mr. Churchill?
Yes.
Mr. Appleton?
Yes.
Mr. Malaby?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Then we move on to 26-28 for 71 Burt Street, Derry Plumbing and Heating.
Okay, this is for the new building. This is also a letter of credit, map 28, lot 2, at 71 Birch Street. The request is to approve a release of letter of credit 82461840, drawn on Haverhill Bank in the amount of $93,581.25 for the above noted project. The amount to retain is $3,053.25.
Mr. Chair, I so move.
Second.
Moved by O'Connor, seconded by Malaby to approve the release as presented. Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Minervini?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Fishman?
Yes.
Mr. Churchill?
Yes.
Mr. Appleton?
Yes.
Mr. Malaby?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Down to 26-29, 74 Rockingham Road, Keystone Dairy.
Okay, this is for the residences at Sky. This is also a letter of credit, map 5, lot 39, 74 Rockingham Road. The request is to approve a release of letter of credit 48759-1, drawn on Enterprise Bank in the amount of $463,914.20 for the above noted project. The amount to retain is $106,295.36.
And I so move, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Moved by O'Connor, seconded by Malamy to approve the release as presented. Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Minervini?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Fishman?
Yes.
Mr. Churchill?
Yes.
Mr. Appleton?
Yes.
Mr. Malaby?
Yes.
And chair votes yes. And then I think last we have 2630, 84 Island Pond Road, Belize Real Estate.
Okay, this is a cash escrow for map 6, lot 17, 84 Island Pond Road. The request is to approve a release of cash escrow in the amount of $15,795.25 for the above noted project. The amount to retain is $18,837. This account is also non-interest bearing.
And Mr. Chair, I so move.
Second.
Okay, it is moved by O'Connor, seconded by Malaby to approve the release as
Just had a
presented.
quick question, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I'm just a little bit confused. We're releasing $15,795, but we're retaining $18,000.
Nope, hold on.
The retaining is more than what we're releasing.
The original amount was $34,632.
Oh, you've seen that page too? Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, any other issues, questions? No. Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Minervini?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Fishman?
Yes.
Mr. Churchill?
Yes.
Mr. Appleton?
Yes.
Mr. Malaby?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Now we move on to approval of minutes. We have before us the minutes of July 8th, 2026. Has everyone had a chance to review them? Are there any errors or omissions?
Mr. Chair, seeing no one rise, and I move to accept them as written.
Second.
Moved by O'Connor, seconded by Malaby to approve the minutes of July 8th, 2026 as written.
Just a quick question, Mr. Chairman, again, sorry. So on page 2, in the second box, there's a date change in pen, in red pen. So
So it'd be,
are we,
if
we're
we could do it
approving, we're
as
approving
amended.
as amended?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So did we initially distribute them with the third in there and then fixed it for tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So then it should be approved as amended.
Amended.
All right, great.
Mr. Chair, I'll accept a friendly amendment from Mr. Chiricello to accept the change from June 03 to correct it to June 17, 2026.
Good.
I so move.
Great. Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Minavini?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Fishman?
Yes.
Mr. Chiricello?
Yes.
Mr. Appleton?
I will abstain because I was not present.
Mr. Malaby?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Next on the agenda is correspondence.
So I got a few things for you tonight, Mr. Chair. The first is a notice of land use board fees under RSA 673:16 Roman 3. That's as of July 21st this year. It's the abutter notification. It is now the current certified fee, which is $633 plus $3 per notice. It's just letting us know that the postage is increased by 29 cents per certified letter. So make sure you pinch your pennies.
Is that something that we need to act on to revise our schedule at some point?
I will take a look in the, I think the only place we may actually, no, we say current certified return receipt, or current certified fee plus the $3. So,
All right. And then the other item is it's a letter that was received on July 10th from Jacob LaFontaine, who's the planning director for the town of Salem, just letting us know that there's going to be an agenda item on the August 11th meeting at 7 p.m. Salem Town Hall to let us know there's been an update to Master Plan, Update 3.0 to the West Village. So that's obviously been a big thing with Tuscan Village. So if you have any questions, any interest in that one, it's going to be on the 11th.
Okay, great, thank you. Now we move on to other business. First item is architectural design review for a sign in the West Running Brook District, parcel ID 05012-001001, 94 Rockingham Road, Dead Proof Pizza Company.
All right, the Town of Derry zoning ordinance, section 165-101.12A14, requires that all new signs proposed in the West Running Brook district be reviewed by the planning board prior to the issuance of a sign permit. The architectural design of the sign should be compatible with the building and their surroundings, be informative, legible, and provide examples of quality graphics appropriate to the spirit of the district. The applicant is requesting 2 signs to be internally illuminated. Signs in this district cannot be internally illuminated without approval, and no sign may contain neon, argon, or krypton. Therefore, the planning board must approve the internal illumination of these signs. Dead Proof Pizza Co. is operating at 94 Rockingham Road, the former Clam Haven location. A sample of the proposed signs are attached, as well as a rendering of proposed future changes to the facade of the existing structure to include, not under review at this time, in addition to the building. The rendering shows a future addition to the building which is not under review at this time. It is being presented to the board preemptive to any official submittal for site plan amendment. Part of the facade has artwork along the bottom half of the building. The board should discuss this as a part of the sign package. Our code enforcement officer deems this piece a sign, so take that into consideration when discussing. The West Running Brook District was designed to retain the unique character that differs from the other commercial districts given its proximity to the West Running Brook. In reviewing plans under these regulations, the planning board shall take into account the level of expected compliance based on the zoning district in which the development is to occur, as defined in section 170-84. The nature of the surrounding uses, style of the surrounding buildings, and special features of historic, cultural, or community interests in the vicinity of the development. A very high level of compliance with regulations is required for the West Running Brook. Additionally, the LDCR Section 170-84A1B states applicants must comply with a very high compliance with architectural design regulations when it comes to non-residential structures. Per the general requirements of the West Running Brook, broad expanse of blank walls are inappropriate. Traditionally, the parts of a facade that may be embellished or at least articulated in some fashion include the horizontal base where the building meets the ground and the areas around the windows. Depth shall be created for the facade through the use of projecting or rescinding sections, bay windows, or arcades and porches. Subtle colors are appropriate on larger plain buildings, whereas smaller buildings with more detail can be more effectively incorporate brighter colors. Bright colors should be limited to accent areas. High-intensity colors, metallic colors, or fluorescent colors should not be used. Buildings on corner lots shall be considered significant structures, given that they have at least two front facades visibly exposed to the street. Buildings with more than one facade facing a public street or internal open space shall be architecturally designed to be consistent regarding style, materials, color, and details on all sides facing the street. Bland walls or surface area treatment of sides and/or rear elevations visible from the public viewshed is discouraged. Our recommendation to the board is to approve the proposed signage. The board should review the structure rendering to determine if the proposed sign change meets the requirements of the district. The owner, Dante, is here to answer any questions you may have to the proposed signage.
Okay, so this is a little unusual because we have just a sign. Actually, there's a billboard sign on top of the roof, and then there's the pillar sign.
Correct.
In the parking lot. So there's two, what we typically think of as signs. But we also have a rendering of something for future consideration, if I understand the application correct, that shows changes to the actual structure itself, some structural things such as an extension of a lean-to kind of porch thing, creating a bar area, and extensive decoration of the front. And does it also include the side, or is it just one side?
My understanding is no, not at this time. So the initial, for the facade change, my understanding is Dante had indicated to me that he wanted to paint the building black, and so I said that does require review. Dante can explain a little bit more, you know, the more in-depth potential changes. He understands that any additions to the building would require site plan review, but this was more of a, if he were going to add to it, like maybe we want to get feedback on what the building's going to look like, and then, you know, if he does paint it black, then you know, this piece should be under review if that's going to be added, but I'll let Dante can explain that a little bit further.
Run down what you're planning to do for us, please.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. How are you? Following up. So, first and foremost, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. This is the first time I've ever been a part of a planning board meeting, so forgive me if I'm a little behind on things. But really, the goal, first and foremost, is we all know, you know, Clamphaven to be this destination, and I grew up in Derry. I still live here, and I respect the land and the building so much that, you know, when Lisa was so gracefully allowed me to come into the space, I wanted to, you know, treat it as a destination that I know it could be and drive the potential of that. I've been very fortunate over these past few years to have a really good following that has followed me from being in a tent all the way to being in this building now in Derry. We were just featured on Food Network, which was really awesome house and represent Derry and the following, and just continuing to get bigger and bigger. And the reason because of that, our branding is really strong, and I wanted to reflect that in the building. Due to all that, really the sign was the biggest thing. I have people coming up to me every single day thinking Clam Haven's still open, which I wish I could say yes and help them out. But, for as strong as we are on the internet, there's obviously some folks in the town that don't use it. So they come by looking for the clam plate and the hot dog deal, and they're just not going to find it. So, turning them away has become a daily occurrence. So having this sign is just going to go a long way into our branding. And as far as the color of the building, I know black sounds a little aggressive, but when it comes to our brand, it's really just to accentuate the colorness of it. So, we're a very big art-driven brand. We love supporting community artists, and we love having, like when I was in Manchester, for example, I had a lot of people come in that actually had their art in my building, either to sell or just they wanted it displayed in a place that, liked, where they would get eyes on it and have a place to express themselves. So that's kind of where the black comes from in terms of having something to be there if we were to go this course and putting something on the building, but I'm not there yet. For me, it's really just the sign and the color of the building that I would really love to just, see if we can get going.
So if I could step in, I'm Lisa DeSisto.
Thank you.
I own the property. I still own 94 Rockingham Road. I'm leasing it out to Dante's. Dante's vision that he submitted today is more aggressive, that he's not prepared to do yet. He's here today for a sign permit and should not have submitted the whole plan yet because we haven't gotten that far yet. So he's looking for a sign permit, but he took it to the next step to give everybody what his vision is. So right now, he's just here to get the dead-proof sign, stage 1, and then he's gonna have to come back to the planning board to get this more aggressive design, because that's not going to fit within the West Running Brook.
Right, no, and Elizabeth
but
and I
it's
talked
not going
about
to
that.
be. I'm just telling you, it's not going to get approved.
Okay.
But you're going to have to come back and go through what the criteria is, and then put your vision with that.
Yeah, no, I understand.
All right,
Yeah.
but he's asking that, what are we looking at? The whole design or the sign? He needs the sign.
So maybe we should separate this into two things. The actual explicit signage, which is
Page 1.
the billboard on the top of the roof and the two sides of the pylon sign. And then we could consider this futuristic, maybe will happen, maybe won't, rendering as, one of those conceptual consultation things, and we could give some, non-binding feedback on it. But maybe we ought to just act on what they actually need immediately, which is the sign approval. Does that sound like a good way to go to everyone? Any comments from the board on that?
On how to proceed it?
Yeah.
I mean, he's here for the sign, that's what it's for. I personally, I'm just looking at the rendering, this is probably just an AI thing that he's probably, no?
That's all it was, yeah.
You actually had design.
I wasn't
to be
getting
honest
around
with you,
fast enough, yeah.
I like it. And
Thank you.
I mean, I like the look myself. I like the fact that you added that extension, right? So you can have people in there. We need more younger entrepreneurs to step up and do this kind of stuff. So I give you a lot of credit to do that. I know that we're not here for that.
Thank you, Brian.
I'm just going to say, don't give up your dream. Go for it. Even if it doesn't work, then you
Even if
change
your
it up.
landlord doesn't want it?
No,
I'm just saying.
I want it, I believe
I'll be
in it.
back to respectfully counter.
He knows that.
Put it that all to.
I'm worse than his mother. I support his dream, and I believe in everything that you said.
Yeah.
But I don't want the process for him to get his sign
I get
to be
it.
convoluted with his bigger goal.
Yeah, you're just being very protective, which is
Yes,
great.
because I've been wanting him to get the sign approval for
Yeah,
months.
good. You just get them straight in the line. So we'll do the sign, like we said. I like it. It's, it's a younger vibe. And I
And
think,
it's much needed in the community,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he brings in a much different clientele.
yeah,
And
yeah. And I do know his mom, too.
My mom did vote for him.
But anyway, that's my 2 cents. I mean,
Anyone
I
else
know we're here
have,
for the sign, so.
Comments, questions? Ms. Robidoux?
I do have one question. The wall art aside, did you want to paint the facade black at this time or sometime in the next few months?
That would have nothing to do.
Like the siding and everything?
Yeah, did you
Yes.
want to paint the building black
Yes, ma'am.
sometime in the next few months?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so maybe leave the artwork aside at this point, maybe come back when
Yep.
you do site plan review for
100%.
any future additions for that piece. But I think that, so that he doesn't have to come back again when he wants to paint it.
So we're
If
segregating
Mr. Sisto allows
the
him to,
base
yeah.
coat color of the building from all the fancy artwork on it. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seems reasonable. Question for me, I can't tell from this rendering, is the sign illuminated? Does it have LED or neon?
Yeah, no letter neon. It's all it's all LED. So it's halo lit LEDs.
Yeah, I mean, our regs say no LED, it's no neon, but I wonder if they were just written before LEDs were a thing.
I think we were, when we wrote those regulations, it was more that, like that gaseous type, because of, that type of lighting, where this is LED and it's just the color looks neon-ish, but it's not the neon gas.
They're not on that one.
So, your question on that there, tying in, doesn't that still going to be internally lit? And that's going to be an issue? 'Cause
It would be, he's proposing internally lit, and the board would have to specifically, no one can have internally lit signs in the West Running Brook District unless the board says they can.
So that would
So
be a
that's why it's
Board
part
knows
of this
about that.
motion. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, in terms of the black, I mean, it's obviously different from everything else, and it will definitely be, in and of itself, I don't know, screaming for attention, I guess. I don't know how well black will look without all the other fancy artwork on it. You may have second thoughts about that, but I don't necessarily think that black is completely, we do have some, darker navy blue buildings in these kind of areas.
We do.
I don't know, what do the board members think about the base coat of black?
Well, one of the questions I want to tie into that there is that to confirm, are we on the edge of WRB, a district? And if we are, then we're supposed to be creating a village-style image. And I don't know if all solid black was just a village-style image. And I'm just bringing this up just to play devil's advocate, because based on our rules and regulations, if we have certain requirements, we need to bring those out forward, and then that way the board can change later on to remove it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we have explicit requirements in the language and they don't fit, we need to, consider having specific waivers for each of them, just so that we don't gloss over it, right? So that's a good point.
Yep, I don't think we specifically state specific colors in the West Running Brook District.
No, we just say colors that kind of blend in with the surrounding buildings and don't, reach out and grab you by the ankle.
Right, and across the street, Tree Line has their darker green.
Yeah. So anyone else has thoughts on the base color?
I mean, the quick thought I had was, he mentioned that people often come because Clam Haven's been there forever. I mean, if he did paint it black, it's completely, you're not going to confuse it. It's like a new.
It needs a new identity change.
So that, to me, does it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I'm not necessarily opposed to it. I'm just thinking the Rolling Stones painted black.
There you go.
Other questions or comments? So we're talking about the signs as shown, and then painting the structure black.
I don't think I have a problem with the black. I don't think. I need time to process that part. but just maybe expanding a little bit more. What was his name? Andrew? I'm sorry.
Dante.
Dante, yes, sir.
So Dante, if you were to get it black, and if you were able to get the good pizza, no proof, and all the purple, and that neon pinkish color, that's not gonna have like a black luminant light on it that makes that pop back out again, will it?
No, that's gonna be.
So it'd only be visible during the daytime it would pop,
So
not
I
at
would have like
nighttime?
some ground lights like underneath that would essentially like it would light up the foundation of the art, but it wouldn't necessarily be like a lit piece of art. Does that make sense?
Kind of. I guess I would just be worried if it would be putting like a blue light to make that pink come back out onto the, you know what I mean? Back
Understood.
out.
It would definitely be more visible during the day, but you know
Okay.
we're closing at sunset anyway or anything like that.
Okay.
So I'm not personally too worried about the art getting lost, and that's even if it when we get to that stage
Right,
for sure.
and I could just say we're putting the horse before the carriage? Carriage before the
I think
horse.
that's the one.
Something like that. That was it.
Yeah, 100%.
The black, I don't know, I guess I need time to process the black.
Yeah, the
Well,
it's,
you're probably going to have about like 3 minutes.
Well, and I'm probably gonna lose, so I
So
guess,
process quick.
yeah, I'm not gonna lose anyway, so I guess.
Could I add one thing? One thing that the drawing doesn't include is the exterior lighting that's already on the building that you don't see in the black. So under that overhang, there's exterior lights that I don't think it's gonna be looking so black, because
No.
honestly, this rendering, I believe, I understand what you're saying. Like, that's a big corner at night, it's a black friggin'
Exactly.
building, like, what the hell is he thinking? I don't know, I'm 60, what do I know? But as far as, yeah, I understand what John is saying about maintaining the WRB character, but I think Clam Haven is it's separated and it has its own little unique corner. So whatever the rendition is going to be, there's a lot more lighting in here. And Elizabeth, I just want to make sure that we're clear, the interior lighting of those signs, there are interior lights in those signs, so that's
Correct.
okay, right?
Well, the board would need to
We
decide
need to
that.
issue a waiver because the regs say no.
But
I think she
they've been
means-
there for 60 years, so.
Well, so Clam Haven existed before the architectural design.
Right.
regs, So it was grandfathered.
Right, so those lights do have interior lights, and I just want to make sure everyone is aware that they are interior lighting.
But they're not LED.
I don't know.
I don't think.
I flip a
don't
switch and
know
the
that
light
the-
goes on, but there's
Lumen
lights
technology really
inside the
matters,
sign.
According to the documents we've got, it does declare what color the LED lights are. It's on one of the back pages.
I mean, it appears to me that the outline of the major sign, it's triangle and the pizza company, and the triangle is on the building. They appear to be luminant, at
Yeah.
least in this
Right.
rendering.
they're like a magenta light up LED, whereas the letters of Dead Proof minus the triangle that stands in for the A is white.
Yeah, but it's not just flat paint, there's actually some electrical lighting.
correct.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
I would interpret the previous language about neon, argon, et cetera, to include LED technology. We should probably just haven't updated the
Possible,
the
yeah.
tech, so
Okay.
we would probably need to waive that section as well
Okay.
in order to achieve this.
Yeah, and there are night views included with your renderings. So they show like a night view
Yeah.
of what the signs will look like.
All right, Mr. O'Connor?
I have one more that needs to be probably waived on it. According to the 165-101-12, that no roof signs shall be permitted in the West Running Brook area. And with the new purchase of this here, it doesn't grandfather it, I don't believe.
But he's not purchasing it. We're not changing ownership. The ownership isn't changing.
No, I understood that, but it's changed from Rick Metz, though.
Well, so here's the thing, John. If I can interpret the photos on this page correctly, the proposed replacement sign is a little bit taller, but much shorter than the existing Clam Haven sign, which includes the Coca-Cola
cream.
logos and the ice cream. So I believe that as an ongoing business, they are allowed to replace the sign in kind with a different design that fits the same footprint.
They are.
So I think we're okay on that one.
And I think it fits that roof line. The roof line shows are much better with the new sign. The single panel versus like you had mentioned, the Clam Haven with the 2 Cokes and the ice cream, it spans the whole roof. Now you're looking at just that one panel sign, and you can see that roof pitch.
It's cleaner
Looks nice.
lines, it's much cleaner lines.
Yeah.
The windows are more aligned with the roof line. It's easier to serve operationally.
Yeah.
Those are the only questions that I have.
All right, any other, Mr. Malamine? Mr. Appleton?
I think this is a good location for dead proof. And practically speaking, I understand it's in the West Running Brook district, but it's, our planning director had alluded to a tree line across the street, but there's also a car repair shop, a motorcycle repair shop, a gas station all right at that corner. It's a little different. If we were having this conversation, it was a mile or 2 down the road, and you've got a school and fairways and whatnot. So certainly, just speaking about the sign, I'm in favor of. I understand the black could probably be a little jarring, but I think that's probably something we can maybe table to an actual plan review, correct?
Well, no,
Like
we're
today,
talking
we
about
could just fit today.
painting the building. They want to have permission tonight,
Okay.
not necessarily for the graphics and not necessarily for the structural changes. Those will have to go back for a site plan
They will.
amendment. So yes, signage and paint is what we're talking about. Yeah. Mr. Appleton?
Yeah, I just had a quick question about the pylon signs. So you guys you're not wrapping or painting the existing sign, you're removing those panels and putting new ones on it?
New panels are going in it, yeah, that's correct. And so the only part that's going to be lit up is, where is it? Is just the white you see and the magenta.
Okay.
But it'll all be lit the same.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Just a quick question. Are these proposed graphics the actual graphics that you want to put on the building?
Like
Or is
on the base side, like the art?
On the base?
No, the art just kind of came out as the rendering came out, and I saw it as kind of like, I would like something there. I don't know what it is. The colors definitely match the branding, and there's not necessarily anything on there that A, I'm married to, B, I came up with, or C, because I'm not that artistry. But I said, like, my branding just lends itself to that. We're growing in such a rapid pace right now that people kind of, I don't want to say expect us to kind of have this building be that way, but I am so confident in this vision that I know it'll be a destination for Derry and something I think it needs, especially with Bobby coming in here and, doing his thing, and like just the way this town's growing and evolving into a prominent foodie town. Like you see it all over New Hampshire Eats and popular Facebook pages that a lot of people are coming to Derry, not only for pizza, but they're going to be coming when, Bobby's here. They love Sabatino's, they love Amphora, and I love being a part of, and they love Rigatoni's. Don't worry about it. What? That was obvious. I didn't need to mention you.
All right, you two. All right.
I'm just sorry.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is, for someone who's lived in this town his whole entire life, I think that having a building this different, this standout-ish would be, I think, a welcome sign that Derry's not behind in the times, in which a lot of people think a lot of the buildings look the same. And if you guys follow me at all, there's nothing the same about me for it. But I want to do what I can to represent my town, and I think this is the way I'm going to do it.
So we're kind of getting all the questions done now, but I think we need separate motions or resolutions here for the
Yeah,
the
Abby did
signage and the
prepare-
paint, and
yeah.
then the non-binding conceptual discussion on the other decoration.
Yeah, Abby did prepare 2 motions for you. One is specific to the signs, including the internal illumination aspect, and then the second one was for, you have the potential to amend that last, the second to last sentence to say that you accept the color of the general facade if you wanted to.
So, but I want to go down another route.
Sure.
That there are zoning regulations which we cannot, change because we're not the ZBA, that dictate the maximum square footage of signage based on, properties of a plot, right? And so my opinion, and apparently the opinion of the zoning administrator, is that rendering as shown, which is, kind of highly promoting your brand and your product, is signage. And you'd have to calculate all of that space as part of your allowed signage, or you need a variance.
Understood.
So where are we on those numbers? Do you know?
Carrie and I sat down yesterday because we knew that might be potentially a question, and we didn't want to say yes to something that the ZBA might say no to. So currently, if you look at, if we just take the frontage of 94 Rockingham, that's 181 feet. Our sign regulations say that you're allowed 2 square feet per linear foot of road frontage. So the allowance, if you just use Rockingham Road, is 362 square feet. Carrie and I calculated, and the pylon sign, the building sign, and then even if you included the artwork, which would be a wall sign, came out to 200.62 feet. So he falls below and wouldn't need a variance. And then we weren't sure, I checked tonight, we weren't sure if that was going to wrap around the building or if that 30 square foot dead-proof sign would also be on the Island Pond side. Even if it were, adding in those 2 elements, the total would be 324 square feet, so he would still fall below the maximum.
Okay, just want to make you aware that there were also not only color and design and aesthetics, but dimensional things that we can't waive.
Correct.
Mr. Chair,
30 square feet.
Any other questions?
Mr. Chair, I have one more question. Just for clarity, and I don't know if we can actually rule on this or if it's part of the regs, but is the sign going to be lit at all hours or just during business hours?
Just during business hours.
Okay. And you said you close after dusk or so?
Yeah, so right now our hours are 11 to 8, and then 11 to 4 on Sunday.
Thanks.
And 11 to 8 Thursday through Saturday.
Great. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, any other last-minute alibis? All right, so let's give him a vote on the roof sign, the pylon sign, 2-sided, and the painting of the exterior of the structure black. Do we have a motion that reads that way?
Also move.
Well, wait a minute, I'm going to see if we actually have a motion, recommend a motion that says that.
Suggested motion.
Are you separating these, or are you packaging them all together?
Well, we have to separate them because, number one, the psychedelic rendering is speculative. And it's not really right for us to vote on tonight. So I'm going to treat that as a conceptual consultation. We'll say, yeah, we think that's great, or man, that's horrible. We'll give you feedback,
Please,
which is non-binding, and then you can take that for what it's worth.
By all means, yeah.
But what I hear is you need to get the signage changed.
Yeah, the sign's the biggest one, yeah.
And so that's what I think we're going to officially approve tonight.
This first motion is for the signs, and I think Elizabeth was saying this second motion, we can remove the parts that talk about the design and facade and stuff and just talk about the color and use that motion for that.
Or we could just tack it on to the first one.
Yep.
My question is, given that this is LDCR terms and conditions, I think we need to actually vote on waivers, as opposed to just saying we accept this, we accept that. I know that pretty much everything in the LDCR is waiverable.
Yeah.
I mean, the WRB is waiverable, even the zoning, with special exceptions and whatnot.
I'll double check in the, I'll grab the copy of the LDCR, but I think, I wondered about that, and I was like, well, are we going to need a
Well,
waiver?
every
And I
other
thought, yeah.
LDCR thing that we grant a difference to, a waiver to, we vote on a waiver. Why would this be different?
The language seemed a little bit different. I'll pull it and take a quick peek right now, but I think the language said it shall not be illuminated without the permission of the planning board or without the planning board's say, so let me look at that.
I'm going to be conservative and say wherever we think there's a specific thing that it doesn't comply with, let's quickly draft a waiver. It doesn't have to have all the lingo that most of them do.
Okay.
Just basically say we agree to waive this.
All right, let me find that section.
That way, when we'll come back and gripe at us for making a sloppy decision, because that might actually come back on you, too.
Understood.
That has happened. I won't tell you where and when, but it has happened.
Quick question.
Mr. Churchill.
So I'm just noticing the current roof is like a light gray. But in the rendering, it looks like it's either re-roofed or the shingles are painted. No?
The roof was repaired like 3 years ago.
Right, but I'm just saying, the black's gonna look a little bit different on a gray roof than, like in the rendering, it looks like the roof was actually
It
like a
does look
darker-
like the roof surface has been replaced in the future rendering.
Is that what you want?
But it's all, it kind of blends together.
Yeah.
And I guess my question is whether we would treat that as the same time we treat the structural changes, probably?
I think Dante is open to suggestions on
Yeah,
that.
100%, yeah.
I mean,
So,
what do you
like-
guys think? If you see,
I mean, I have told folks who completely ignore me that, hey, you've got red lettering on dark blue background. You know, the human eye cannot focus on both colors at once.
Right.
That has very low visibility at 40 miles an hour.
Right.
And Nelson's rule of marketing is it has to be readable at 40 miles an hour.
Right.
So I can give you, suggestions like that, but it also has to follow your brand scheme and your colors.
Absolutely.
I do agree with Mr. Churchill that the sign will pop more against a gray roof than it will black on black.
Yeah, I had no intentions of changing the roof specifically. I mean, the board around the back, forgive me, the backboard of the sign itself is black to reflect all the lighting anyway. So for me, the roof, at least for now, isn't, a top priority for me to change or alter at any point. I think the sign, working with New Hampshire Signs, they were great to put, they actually pointed out the roof color. They were like, you're not gonna have to worry too much about that because the backboard of the sign is already black in helping reflect the light properly. They've been doing this forever, so I, just went with their suggestions, and I think the sign in and of itself will do a good job of that. And I kind of like how it plays against the light gray as it is. So
we'll assume that if you change the roof, that comes in with the later, structural changes?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. O'Connor, were you keeping track of all the things that needed to be waived?
I wasn't good.
Okay.
It was.
So internal illumination. I don't know if there's anything else explicitly, don't do that. I mean, they do say use, appropriate colors. That is a very subjective thing. So I think we can simply say we accept the black as part of your corporate logo look. But I think we should probably waive the specific prohibition on internally lit of any form.
If I could say, Elizabeth had mentioned the painting of the building, and then Ryan is talking about the roof, and my understanding, it was the building that you wanted.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, so we're talking about
I'm just trying- yeah.
the building, not the
That's all,
roof.
that's right.
I'm just saying, if you
Signs.
painted the building black, how's that gonna play with the gray roof versus if everything was, according to the rendering, it looked like everything was darkened?
Well, it won't look like that picture, but a lot of it won't look like that picture yet, so.
I mean, because that's going to be a big contrast, the black building with the gray roof.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, I know painting isn't cheap these days, but it's just paint.
Right.
And if you decide, oh, that was a mistake, you can easily fix that.
beautiful.
Yeah, and he would be willing to do so.
So I'm not going to obsess about the paint at this point. At least I won't.
I'm just trying to bring attention to, try to visualize what that's going to look like.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have to take this step at a time. I mean, we're only approving the signs, and as an extension,
Yeah.
painting the building black.
Excuse me.
So did you find the section that talks about signs and argon and neon?
So there's...
I guess I could start digging for it as well.
Really illuminate the
So-
sign, the only thing that's really going to show up is the white lettering and the
this.
purple sign.
It seems like it's just talking about the highlight.
170,
You know what I'm saying?
86,
186.
F.
186.
But I'm just saying that.
Yep.
Light
Subsection F, and then further
I
subsection
mean, just might-
9, lighting.
I think that rendering looks better.
And it says, well, it talks about low, use of low-key, low-intensity wall pack or spot top lighting is appropriate
Oh, you're in 170.
unless otherwise approved by the planning board. Right,
we can't
use
deal
of
with
lighting to
zoning.
highlight the building in a prominent manner, such as brightly illuminated roof fins or neon tube lighting is discouraged unless otherwise approved by the planning board. All pole-mounted lighting fixtures shall be fed electricity by the use of underground electrical. This is an existing site. Illumination patterns proposed shall be such that all sites subject to these regulations will enjoy an adequate level of lighting to ensure user safety and security.
All right, so we
Yeah.
can simply
can do it.
waive
Yep.
the term of that subsection 170-86F9 to allow internally lit signs where the regulations do not allow.
That
would be
works, yeah.
how I would word it.
Oh, yeah, you even had it marked off.
Okay? And I think that's all we need to worry about specifically waiving. Anyone
And-
else have a
Do you-
thought on that?
Do you need that in writing from Dante?
We can scribble on a piece of paper, and yeah, as long as it's, the clerk has it. So at this point, I would like to entertain a motion for the waiver as we just kind of cobbled it together. If I can remember what it says, to waive the provisions of section,
Oh, just sign it, okay. I was like, my handwriting's terrible, so I apologize.
170-86.
170-86F9 to allow internal lighting on the signage where the regulations do not allow.
This the waiver for the illumination?
Yeah.
Okay, someone want to make that motion?
I will so move.
Okay. Moved by O'Connor, seconded by Malamy to grant a waiver. Any discussion? If not, Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Minamini?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Fishman?
Yes.
Mr. Churchiello?
Yes.
Mr. Appleton?
Yes.
Mr. Malamy?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Now, I think we can go with the motion as suggested in the package, and just add the permission to paint the outside surface of the building black. Somebody want to make that motion?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, is it move to pursuant,
It's this one, John.
this one, top one?
Yeah, top one.
A move to pursuant to the Town of Derry zoning ordinance. That's not. Can we do that?
We're talking about the signs, yeah. So the signage ordinance is in the zoning ordinance. The architectural review of the signs is in the LDCRs.
Correct.
So it is a little confusing.
Which is the one down below, which is the LDC. Yeah, where your thumb is.
Yeah, no, I think we, read the top one, and then we'll make an amendment if we need to.
Okay, Mr. Chair, move pursuant to the Town of Derry zoning ordinance, Article 12, signs, Section 165-101.12, signs in the West Running Brook District, to approve the sign design presented for Dead Proof Pizza, parcel 05012-001-001, 94 Rockingham Road, as presented. The board accepts the internal illumination of signs and finds these signs are compatible with the surrounding buildings, meets the regulations contained in the ordinance, and complements the surrounding architecture.
Second.
And then an amendment to add, the board accepts the painting of the exterior of the building black.
Just how I said it.
Okay? Any questions on that? You got that, Madam Clerk? Okay. Any discussion? Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Minavini?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Fishman?
Yes.
Mr. Chiricello?
Yes.
Mr. Appleton?
Yes.
Mr. Malawi?
Yes.
And chair votes yes. And I think you've already kind of got our informal feedback on the more advanced design. Some of us love it, some of us don't.
Understood.
Some of us think it's maybe a little too much.
Like the art itself or the
Yeah,
extension?
it's the whole, it looks too busy, it looks like a comic book to me.
Understood.
But then again, I'm an old guy, like other folks in the room. So just think about,
Could scale it down a little bit.
you know, what works as opposed to maybe going to, you know, you don't have to turn the volume knob to 11.
But, no, I'm just kidding. No, I definitely want to be more purposeful of what goes in there anyway. Like I said, the rendering just kind of spit that out at me as an idea, and I was like, it's kind of cool. But, you know, I think when it comes down to it, you know, everything about Dead Proof has its place, and that will be one of those things. So when the time comes to present that, like, it'll be...
Yeah, if you come back for the structural changes, you can include that at the same time.
Absolutely, yeah. It won't be as comic booky, I promise.
Can I say one more thing? Sure. And again, I got to give you a lot of credit because your Facebook followers is vast and deep.
Thank you.
And they're very loyal to you, too.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. You know, I just, creating this business, you know, in 2022 it started in a tent and I was cooking pizzas in a parking lot. So to be now at Clam Haven, a place I grew up with, and like is an iconic place, is just for me the culmination of just so much hard work that's gone into making this what it is today. And to be in Derry, you know, I always said like being in Manchester was always great, but Derry will always be my home. So to have this here is, you know, special.
Now, you have a truck also, right?
Yes, sir.
Where is that going to be parked? Because that's got signs all over it.
She is currently parked in the parking lot of Clam Haven. I'm working on a location to keep it between events. I know right now it's like we're in our heaviest event season period, so to be able to take all of our, because Clam Haven's our commissary, so to be able to take all of our product from Clam Haven, just walk it over to the trailer, load it up, go to the next location, you know, has done wonders for my people not stretching out too much. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. I think that's it. Well, thank you, Dante. Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah, thank you guys for your time.
very
Really
much.
appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
And we appreciate the support.
Kind of excited.
Yep.
Next time you guys want a pizza party, let me know. I got you. That's not a problem.
You guys getting rid of the Clam Haven sign? What are you guys doing with that?
We don't know yet.
Oh, that's to be continued.
Lisa
To
can
be
auction.
I got some
continued.
ideas.
You know, Lisa, there are places that collect classic signs. If you go up to Shorty's,
Hey, listen, you know,
they have all
we want to
those
put it
old
for
signs
auction.
hanging.
A lot of people have reached out.
There's a guy sitting here who's interested in the sign.
You should see my inbox. Oh
I
my
also
God, it's
grew up in Derry,
crazy.
so
Me too.
I would love to have that sign.
It's
all right.
crazy. but,
Thank you, guys. Let's move on to
We
our.
have Clam Haven shirts for
Yeah,
you.
we got more to do tonight, so we'll.
Guys, thank you. Keep
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, next item. Hopefully we'll go quicker. Architectural design review for a sign in TBOD, parcel ID 30052, 6th East Broadway, Beyond Beauty.
Move to approve.
Oh, wait a minute. You got to have the prezzo first.
Oh, okay.
All right, the Town of Derry zoning ordinance, section 165-101.5A1Q, requires that all new signs proposed in the traditional business overlay district be reviewed by the planning board prior to the issuance of a sign permit. Signs in this district cannot be internally illuminated, neon, argon, krypton, as we know, or have internally illuminated lettering, projecting signs, or are to be located so that they do not block line of sight for motorists and cannot be closer than 8 feet to grade. The architectural design of this sign must complement the architectural design of the buildings and surroundings. The applicant is proposing signage on the existing awning as well as a vinyl window decal sign. The vinyl window decal sign must not obstruct visibility of the interior of the business. Beyond Beauty is currently operating at 6 East Broadway, the former Jay-Z Health. A sample of the proposed signs are attached. Our recommendation to the board is to approve the proposed signage.
All right, so there's no one here from that business?
We ask that she either be present in person or online.
I'm just going to suggest that the awning on the side, you might want to put some white space in that phone number. That's a little hard to read. Kind of violates Nelson's law about 40 miles an hour.
You don't want Superman?
Just one long number. It's not the same thing.
Red and blue?
Okay, that's just a piece of creative, that has nothing to do with our approval, just a creative suggestion. And I assume that given they're on a corner and they have frontage on two different streets, the total surface area of this plus the window decal is not going to be a problem?
It should not be a problem.
Should not, or?
This one I did not calculate.
Oh, you
so I
didn't do
can't
the
say-
maths?
I did not math on this one.
Well,
Yeah. They are resurfacing or replacing areas where Di Francesco had lettering, and so that should
Mr.
help.
Chair.
Yeah.
my instinct is if that proof was okay with their two frontages, these guys are probably okay, but I don't want to let them in for a shock when the planning board approves it and then the zoning administrator comes back and says, yeah.
Well,
Mr. Chair, for your awareness,
Applicants online.
All right.
Mr. Chair, just to inform you, we do have a hand raised online. They're identified as iPhone, just for confirmation, if we could have them identify as we let them in.
Absolutely.
And identify themselves.
Come on in.
We'll go ahead and let them in now and give them the ability to talk.
That would be great.
Should be available now if they want to unmute.
That was the star 6.
If they're on phone, yes, which they're on iPhone.
Caller, are you there?
Hi, good.
All right, try it now. Hello?
Good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Hi. I have Miss Dan was from the business here next.
Sadly, you're dropping out.
It may be in a noisy environment, Mr. Chair, which noise suppression on the on Zoom would be.
We're not getting most of your words. We're losing a lot. So, can you move to a better spot?
Could be network on their side as well, Mr. Chair.
Hello. Good evening.
Yeah, we hear you now.
Okay. Hi. My name's Ted. I have Miss Zan, who's the business owner next to me. And we're here to ready to answer any questions from the planning board.
So you're in a butter?
He's interpreting for the owner.
I'm sorry?
He's interpreting for the owner.
Oh.
There's a language barrier.
Okay.
Okay, so he's a language assistant for the abutter. Okay.
Yes.
She can understand most of when she walks of the question, she might difficulty. That's why.
All right, so the only things that you might want to relate to her is that the planning department didn't actually do a calculation on square footage of the proposed signage. I think you're not going to be having a problem with that because you're on a corner, but just be aware that there is a zoning requirement that we can't change. So just double check that.
Yes, she understands.
And my personal suggestion is where it says hair, skin, massage, and has a phone number on the side of the awning. You might want to put some white space or dashes in there because it's really hard to read. But that's just a suggestion.
Thank you. That's from the I think one of the those designer company that she gave them the information at all. So I think we are able to change that. Of course, no change to the design or anything, but as you suggested, it could be done to make the phone number easier to read.
All right. So those two things have been addressed with the applicant through her interpreter. Any other questions or comments for the applicant from the board?
I can't see what's in the window. What are they changing in the window?
It's this thing.
There's a decal
It's an
sign.
applique.
It's a decal.
The decal
Yes,
is going in the
it's a
window?
word art decal. The most part is transparent and just to show the words. I mean, that's how they print. It will be better if they can cut them out, but it costs quite more expensive, I believe, instead of just make it like a transparent and with the word art on it.
What color did they say that was going to be?
Do you know what the
Just
color
it's
will
gonna
be?
Right on Broadway.
Is it going to be black, white?
The white and only there are several words in black.
Okay.
Just because it's on Broadway.
But does the decal count as a sign?
It does.
Yes.
So that's why I said add up all the square footages and make sure you're okay with the
Yeah.
zoning.
And is it just going on the
these don't
side?
match.
I'll stop my questions. That decal sign, now that I see it, is it just going on the side that's
Not that it's a big thing.
Facing Broadway.
facing Blue Seal, or is it going out that's facing Main Street?
No, they only have windows on Broadway.
Right?
There's one window on Manning Street, but that window will have nothing on it. She's only requested two those decals on Broadway side, and there are actually six window panels there, and she only put them on two of them.
Okay, well, then, if you're gonna use multiple, you better add up the square inches, because you might, Elizabeth will help you, the zoning administrator, Carrie, will help you figure out how many square feet or square inches total you're allowed for that property, and you just don't want to go off to the sign company and buy more than you can put up, okay?
Understand?
I mean, and that's not our thing, that's the zoning administrator's job to enforce. That's not a planning board thing, so we're just giving you friendly advice on that. Okay, anything else?
Understand.
All right, ready for a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move pursuant to the Town of Derry zoning ordinance, Article 12, signs, Section 165-101.5, signs in the TBOD, to approve the sign design presented for Beyond Beauty, parcel 30052, 6 East Broadway as presented. The board finds the sign is compatible with the surrounding buildings, meets the regulations contained in the ordinance, and complements the surrounding architect.
Second.
Moved by O'Connor, seconded by Malaby, to grant permission and approval based on the submission. Any questions, debate? If not, Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Minividi?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Fishman?
Yes.
Mr. Chiricello?
Yes.
Mr. Appleton?
Yes.
Mr. Malaby?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Great. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
All right. We have one more thing, which could be a big thing. I don't know how much depth you want to go into. This is legislative update. Our friends in Concord have continued creative activities regarding land use law. I'll say it that way, in a nice way. Because we have a candidate here, so I won't throw you under the bus until you've actually voted on stuff.
I have a question, though, before we start going down that road. On the last application thing. Because that is, that's, the person that's managing that needs to be licensed in the state of New Hampshire, correct?
That is correct.
Do we ever check to make sure
do.
that they're on?
We do.
Okay, that's all, that's my only question.
That's part of the change of use application. They're not, part of the change of use application is they have to submit all of their current OPLC license
yeah.
with the application, so we
Okay.
do verify that.
Perfect. And do you know if there are any employees at all, or?
At that facility, I believe there is there's the manager operator, and there may be one more employee. And that's what they're permitted for. If they add employees, they have to come back to the town.
And the employees are also licensed?
Yes, they need to
I
provide those,
know where
yes.
you're going with this, but that's
I'm
really
just double checking to
a
see.
town council issue, not a planning board issue?
Well, I'm just wondering if that's something that the town overall looks for.
It's part of our change of use process. Yep. Okay.
Okay, so you have a slide deck.
Yep.
There's a fairly extensive list of changes that will have to have multiple workshops, and this will go on probably until March, I'm guessing.
The next legislative update.
Yep.
All right, let's go for it.
Okay, we're going to start with the staff report and then into the slide deck.
Yes. So the 2026 legislative session has come to an end, and the Planning Department has reviewed the changes as they pertain to the town's LDCR and zoning ordinance. The main topics of review include childcare centers, multifamily housing in commercial districts, innovative housing structures, and some building and code regulations. Attached is a presentation providing an overview of the legislative changes and their potential impacts on the town of Derry. Also included are a summary of the relevant statutory changes and the proposed amendments to the LDCR and zoning ordinance, including draft language for the board's review and discussion. Feel free to follow along looking at the draft language as I present, and the staff is seeking planning board feedback on the proposed amendments prior to preparing any necessary ordinance updates for future consideration. And we would like to discuss whether the board would like to schedule a workshop to review these changes. And for you guys, do you want me to go slide by slide and like we can talk about each slide as we go, or do you want me to do all of them and then talk about all of them?
Well, let's go slide by slide, because that way we don't have to take detailed notes. It
Okay.
usually runs smoother.
Sounds good. We can move to this. All right, so this first slide is just a couple that have no action or change required, but I just wanted you guys to know they were passed and have some sort of relation to planning. SB 94 prohibits all local legislative bodies from adopting any new regulations that differ from the state building code. SB 443 adds rulemaking authority for certain requirements for review and approval of wastewater infrastructure plans and specifications, including the sewer connection permit program. HB 1159 updates the definition of the state building code. HB 1469 requires massage establishments to be licensed and regulated by the Office of Professional Licensure and Certification. The bill also allows for compensation of members of the Advisory Board of Massage Therapists. HB 1246 mandates that a member of the planning board who also serves on a zoning board may only participate and vote on one board when an application or development project is heard by both boards. And this next slide explains HB 296, which was actually passed last year, but we just got into it now. And how I structured these is the purpose and the effect on Derry. So the purpose is that it introduces new provisions regarding the issuance of building permits along private roads by local governing bodies. It establishes an alternative condition for authorization allowing local governing bodies to issue permits after reviewing comments from the planning board or confirming that the private road complies with municipal policy. This change aims to streamline the process for erecting buildings on private roads. And the effect is that the planning board can review the road construction. Building permit is issued only if the applicant can provide a waiver of municipal liability recorded with the deed and proof that the lot and structure on the lot can be insured.
So this has to do with lots of record, has nothing to do with subdivisions, correct?
It also has to do with creation of private roads as well.
Can you go back to that? Back to that slide.
Well, it's got about like 5 or 6 pages. You need to pull it.
The only
out, so
reason why I'm
hold
saying
on.
that is, it says planning board can review the road construction. Planning board can review the road construction. So many of these private roads can be dirt or gravel, depending on how the owners of those private roads want to keep them. We don't really have, the planning board would really have no say, right? I mean, it says review, but...
In the town of Derry, if you're building a private road or a road to be accepted by the town, the standard is exactly the same for the geometric and how you construct it. So the board would review it for drainage and depths of all of that.
So if a private road comes in, we can say it needs to be 24 feet wide.
We do, and we
Gotta
have.
follow the policy.
Yep.
It says,
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Well, I think that, it's to protect one landowner from another. Same reason we have building codes. You don't want to buy a house that's a fire trap because the guy didn't follow codes when he built it, right? So it's to protect future owners from deficiencies in the infrastructure.
I get that, but it's a private road, so the landowner has, in my opinion, has got the right to, if it's a private road, if it's an easement to get down there, if a town dictates what the size of that private road can be, I think that could constitute maybe a possible taking.
Well,
Because you're not going to get a house on that road because it needs to be 24 feet wide. And why is that? Well, you want to get the fire department down there. Well, listen, you're signing a waiver saying you're taking the liability. I think it's a slippery slope myself, but just my opinion.
Well,
You have to look at the actual.
The town has no right to tell me, my private road, how wide my road is.
well, the town technically has no right, or the state has no right to tell you what construction code you use for your private residence, right? By the same logic.
I'm not following that.
In other words, by the same logic, the state has no right to tell you you have to follow a particular electrical code, heating code, or plumbing code because it's your private home.
Right.
I don't think that, I think that case law has been settled, but.
All right. I don't want to tie it up any longer. I don't see that as apples to apples.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm understanding that correctly, too, to piggyback off Mr. Chericello. So if a developer comes in...
Mr. Chair, we need folks just a little closer to the mic, please, sorry.
I just want to make sure, I want to piggyback off what Mr. Chericello was saying as well. So if a developer comes in and he's going to develop on a private road, are we saying that as the planning board, we're going to have some say as to how wide that road has to be in order to make sure that they can get an ambulance, fire department, and all that stuff can get down to their dwelling?
Apparently, the law says we can have a say.
We do. Yes, read it in the front paragraph.
Again,
complies with municipality policy.
That's
If we don't have a
problematic.
policy, we
It's
make one.
problematic in my estimation. But anyway.
Well, is this I assume this is a may, not a shall?
I'd have to dive a little bit deeper into the actual, language of the RSA, but I believe for this one, we may. We do dictate how private roads are built when it comes to 55 and older. That's something we've been doing all along. Those are generally private roads, and we've been reviewing those as an example of when we have done it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also worth noting that this specifically pertains to erecting buildings on private roads. So it's not like, any road you make on your property.
No, but what I'm saying is, but the state has said that you can now build houses on private roads.
Yes, but...
So you're allowed to do that by right. If I own that land on a private road, I'm allowed to build a house by right. That's one of the laws that got changed. Correct me if I'm wrong.
And this really is a building code, this is really a building permit law. So we need to ensure that there's access to the lot, and that's what the planning board can look at when a road doesn't exist or if they're upgrading the road.
I don't want to tie it up any longer because I think there's going to be some issues down the road, not just Derry, I think it's going to be...
Well, so when you win your election, you can repeal this.
Well, I may, because I actually authored the private road maintenance issue that took me John maybe remembers that, took me 3 years to get through, which basically says that anyone that has the right to use a private road also is obligated to maintain that road. That's now codified in law.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Yeah, we're not going to change the laws here tonight.
No.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to the next slide.
All right, so this next one is SB 564. And the purpose is to prohibit municipalities from placing limits on maximum road length, provided that the proposed roadway or extension fully complies with State Fire Code 2. State Fire Code. It prohibits municipalities from imposing a cap on the number of housing lots on a dead-end road or street unless such cap is in compliance with the State Fire Code and National Fire Protection Association Standards 1141, and provided that the proposed lots otherwise comply with current zoning restrictions and requirements. It requires municipalities to allow the placement of utilities within or along buffer areas or wetland buffers or conservation areas of a subdivision or lot by a special exception or conditional use permit. It also prohibits municipalities from imposing additional restrictions of requirements regarding building or lot size for affected properties before the effective date of the act. And the effect on Derry is to change the LDCR 170-26B5 and add to the zoning ordinance 16520 and 16523.
All right, so Roman 4, what does that mean? Prohibits municipalities from imposing additional restrictions, I assume that's or requirements, regarding building or lot size for affected properties before the effective date of the act?
So it's effective in 2027, so what it's saying is that a town can't go in before April of 2027 and change a whole bunch of requirements so that this becomes moot in a town.
Oh, okay, now I understand.
It's a safe gap.
Okay, I mean, is there more detail about utilities, what gets,
So.
allowed in buffers?
Yeah, so, yeah, if you, so that's in the zoning, that's in 160, is that 16580 or LDCR? 165, it's in the wetlands setback, and it's also in the, I want to say I'm looking for the specific language.
Looks like page 2 of the packet.
Thank you.
It's the placement of utilities such as septic systems, wells, electric distribution, drainage structures, stormwater management structures, and other utilities.
So, again, I can't change the law, but I'm thinking putting a septic system in a wetland buffer is probably a bad idea, but hey, that's the law.
Well, you got to get a DES permit, right?
They still need to approve the septic plan, however, they're permitting parts of the septic system to be in the wetland buffer. Yeah, that's what it says.
Are the state's doing that now?
That's the law. Well, or it will be the law in 2027.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Okay, and then for the other pieces, the change in the LDCR would be we remove our maximum cul-de-sac length, and I think we had a cap of like 30 homes or on a cul-de-sac, and we need to remove that as well.
And I don't have any argument with it, because I never really understood the public use and purpose in that anyway. But.
So in 2027, you're going to be able to have a septic design with the leach field potentially being in wetlands area?
Not in a wetland area, in the wetland buffer. So we have our edge of wetland, and
Correct.
depending on the size of the wetland, it's either a 30-foot or,
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to affect Derry as much as some other.
I mean, and hopefully the DES, has some sense about what they approve. We'll see.
And I mean, Roman 6 in section C of that wetland setback area, it says the proposed use will not create a hazard to individual or public health, safety, and welfare due to the loss of the wetlands buffer, the contamination of groundwater, or other reasons. So there is that.
Yeah, I mean, that
Provision.
probably just means a lot of expensive studies, but okay.
Yep.
Cool.
they just get more fun.
They just get more fun.
Yeah, 2027's not too far away.
Okay, next one, 244.
This one's a short one, HB 244, and the purpose is to reorganize the state building and fire code by repealing it from the certain parts of the RSA and reenacting it with some modifications to another part of the RSA. And the effect is to add a new section in the zoning ordinance 165-126 3 and 3A.
To reference those new RSA citations, is that the point?
Yes.
Okay. Seems fairly benign. Okay.
All right, and with these next two, they go hand in hand, so I kind of combine them. These two are HB 1588 and HB 1010. The purpose of HB 1588 is to regulate accessory parking to not be required regulate accessory parking to not require parking spaces per unit to be garage, and to allow municipalities to impose limited requirements on multifamily in commercial districts, which requires updates to the zoning ordinance and all of the GCs, industrial 2 and the neighborhood commercial.
So
And
haven't we done some of this already?
We've done a little bit, but
Okay.
it takes away some of what we did.
Okay.
And for HB 1010, the purposes are to require municipalities to allow multifamily dwellings on commercially zoned land, subject to the local planning board confirming that infrastructure is adequate, authorizing the local planning board to deny applications to build multifamily dwelling units on commercially zoned land in certain circumstances, and it removes the ability to provide an exception for requirements relative to the municipality's conversion of structures into multifamily dwelling units, and replaces such exception to permit the waiver of requirements so long as the converted dwelling unit is not altered to further violate zoning dimensional requirements, and it updates the same zones.
Now, some of these, I'm looking at the effective date. That's either, very close or kind of close.
It's effective now.
So, well,
It's already there.
9/13 isn't yet,
Oh, it's removed now.
but
Right.
I don't think this stuff goes as quickly as one imagines unless it's, very uncontroversial. Last time we tried to do zoning amendments, it did take months.
Yeah.
Of course, that was some changes of uses.
Yeah, this one in particular, the thing that it really affects is that our multifamily residential uses, we said that you can do multifamily in these districts if you have a commercial use. It has to be mixed use. It takes away that mixed use option. So we can have in our general commercial district, you can place an apartment building there.
So I guess my suggestion as a practical way forward, rather than try to rush this and do a sloppy job and come back and have to fix it potentially, that we simply take note of those things that have become effective, and even if our ordinance is still out of compliance, we just don't enforce the parts that are out of compliance.
Does that also mean duplexes can be built now?
It has to be multifamily, so that's state 3 or more.
It's a triplex. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Or, I think it's 3 or more in the state law, yeah.
I mean, years ago, they made, Derry, we've got tons of duplexes in the town of Derry that were built in the 80s, but then we stopped allowing them to happen, the side-by-side two-family.
Well, unless the state has changed the definition of multifamily to include duplexes, I don't know if that has happened.
Yeah. Because I do see in other towns, they are building them, duplexes.
Well, I mean, I wasn't really here during that big boom. I think the issue was that you had a two-member condo association with no tie-breaking, third member, and so there was lots of inter-neighbor fighting, and it just caused problems.
I think you're right, although I will add, a lot of them had what they called arbitration agreements, if you can't,
Yeah.
right? You go to arbitration. But the other big kicker was a lot of them shared septics. So you had one septic system, right? And then if you had 2 bedrooms on each side, that's 4 bedrooms, and they were putting probably a 1,000-gallon tank in, which probably wasn't sufficient. It was another thing, but anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, let's not worry about that unless they have changed the definition. Okay. So all this is just exciting.
It gets more exciting.
Yes.
Oh, good.
So our next one is HB 1079, and the purpose is to expand the definition of accessory dwelling units to allow them to be built within non-conforming structures. And the effect on Derry is to edit the ADU definition, edit section 165-25 to specify ADUs may be created on lots containing single-family dwellings existing as of July 1st, 2025, and to add a condition for pre-existing non-conforming structures.
Okay.
Cool. Our next one is HB 1195, and the purpose is to define child care centers for purpose of local zoning requirements, and provides, with exception, municipalities shall allow the operation of a child care center on commercially zoned land, provide that the center is in compliance with licensing requirements of the Department of Health and Human Services. And the effect on Derry is to add a new definition of child care center and change the zoning ordinance in the 4 GCs, and to renumber the permitted uses in the zones listed above.
That's pretty simple.
Yeah, and we were ahead of the curve with this one when we permitted group daycare in the industrial district. So, yeah.
All right, this one's my favorite. HB 1681 is to establish standards for innovative housing structures such as tiny houses on wheels, and yurts, allowing their use as single-family or accessory dwellings, sitting and permitting requirements, authorizing municipal property tax assessments, regulating transport, and permitting gray water disposal systems. And the effect on Derry is to add 4 new definitions in the zoning ordinance, which are innovative housing structures, tiny houses on wheels, and yurts. Add a new section in the zoning ordinance for innovative housing structures, which is 165-25-1, and to permit innovative housing structures in zones MDHR2, MDR, LMDR, and LDR.
Yurts. Really?
Yes.
I'm like looking at tiny houses on wheels,
Trailer park.
Yes.
right? Because long ago, I won't name anything, but there was a golf course in the.
Mr. Chair, just if we could get proximity to the microphone.
Oh, thank you. You know, we've got a golf course in East Derry that had all these, like, I want to say campers, okay? And the law basically says they have to be registered like vehicles. But now if we're calling those tiny houses on, how do we differentiate the two, you know? Like, that could be considered a tiny house on wheels.
Yeah, so, letter G says a structure is not a trailer, semi-trailer, camp trailer, or recreational vehicle.
Okay.
If that helps.
All right, so, silly question, explain to me what a tiny house on wheels is then.
That is a good question.
We define it.
We do define it.
So it's like I live in Derry for a year. It's on wheels. I get tired of Derry, so I'm going to pick up my house and connect it to my F-150 and move it to Londonderry.
Pre-manufactured housing or double wides, often come on wheels.
Right.
If you don't take them off, you have a tiny house on wheels.
Yes, but the interesting thing is, on that note, if you're trying to sell one of those on wheels, try to get a loan, because you're either going to need cash or you've got to get this one place in New Hampshire that
Maybe
you
the
can get a community
legislature will
loan fund.
fix that too. So I'm more concerned about yurts, because yurts are basically one step up from a tent.
Yep.
That's what I thought too.
Like planks put on the side.
I don't even know how you put plumbing and sanitary facilities in a yurt.
Hold on.
Well, I know there are a lot of things that people have been describing as yurts just because they're in the shape of a yurt. It really is, for all intents and purposes, a house. It just happens to be in a circle with like a cone on the top. I assume that's what it means, because
Well, we
like
have
you're
to look
saying, a
at
yurt is a tent.
The specific definition, yeah.
And all of these things, when they're constructed or permitted, they'll have to meet certain code requirements.
No one's knocking on the door for building yurts yet?
We haven't had a rush, no.
Okay.
I'll get right on it.
Okay, let's see how much better it gets.
Okay.
And that's all. Thank you.
That's it. Well, I mean, I think the legislature had the right intent. They were trying to solve New Hampshire's housing crisis. Whether all of these things work well as intended or whether they have unintended side effects or consequences will be determined as we roll them out, right?
Yeah, I think it's
Literally, roll them out.
affordability issues too, basically.
Okay, well,
According to a study they just completed, there are 30,000 houses that are not full-time houses. They're all part of the VRB-type programs, but that's what happened to a lot of the nationwide. Everybody's putting it out as a vacation home.
Airbnb and such.
But 30,000 in New Hampshire is available if it wasn't the VRB.
okay. We now move on to planning director and chairman updates.
I just have a few. So last evening, the town council approved the changes to the central business district and then the LDCR changes that were, we approved those. So they will be effective on September 3rd. John today forwarded information. They're basically ADU manuals for homeowners. We can forward that to you for just to give you a little bit more background information on how ADUs are permitted and why people move that way. We will be resuming our regular schedule back in September, so our next meeting will be September 2nd. And I'd like to take this opportunity to say this is Abby's last meeting with the board for this year. She has been an absolute joy and help. We have been extremely busy in the planning office, and honestly, without Caroline and Abby to help get through the amount of work that's come through, I don't know how it would have gotten done. Abby has spearheaded some of the housing work that we're doing with Southern New Hampshire Planning Commission, which we should have some updates at our next meeting on that. She helped the town administrator on projects. She's helped the economic development director on projects. Every time I get calls and I'm like, hey, can you take care of this one? People calling and asking, we get a lot of calls about, can I subdivide this property, or they want research on a property, and Abby has just jumped right in and taken that and has honestly done the work of a planner this summer. So I'd like to commend her for that and thank her for her assistance.
Good job, Abby. Come back later.
I'll try.
All right, I got nothing, except you forgot one.
I did.
Who wants to join the coloring plans workshop?
Oh, I forgot. Yes, everyone say yes.
Please say yes.
I only see one hand right now. No, two hands.
Yes. So do we know the date on that?
September 24th
Thank you.
in the morning.
So September 25th, it will be in the morning in this room.
Oh, that's what Sylvia.
Yeah, so Sylvia Von Ahleck will be, no, you should say this.
So I went to it. She's the recently retired executive director of
Southern Hampshire.
Southern Hampshire Planning Commission. Very, very creative woman. And the theory is that when you're looking at one of these ledger size black and white plans with all the little dotted lines and squiggles and whatnot, it can be a little hard to figure out what actually they're telling you. So her technique is to take all the important features and color code them with markers, literally coloring the plan. The gradients, all those little constant distance contour lines, you can figure out where the steep slopes are, where cars are going to be rolling off the hill, where the wetlands are, the setbacks, the extent of roadways. When you go through that discipline and you color up your plan set and you bring it to the meeting, it just makes it so much easier to ask good questions. So I highly endorse it, and it's fun to just color.
Stress reliever.
Yeah, it's offered by OPD, so there will be a cost for it, but the planning department will handle the cost. So encourage as many members who can to please, attend.
So, I mean, it is also going to be open to other planners.
It will be, yeah.
So we'll have potentially a larger audience. But I think, given that, we need to represent. We need to have a good show up from our board for this, please.
Yes.
Please.
I think the room can hold about 40 for that type of event.
Ooh. Okay. So, somebody will be pinging you if you don't respond, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have. Are there board member comments?
Not that I can think of. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. We're adjourned.